anytime that you take on a position, regardless if it's public or private, you have to disclose typically your outside, either if you own a company or your outside employment activities. So, but that's more of an HR deal. Most times you can't turn around and sell what you were doing on the outside to to your employer, because that you basically are being double paid at that point. From an ethical standpoint, you just want to make sure that one, your current employer knows what you have going on the outside, and then two, that you're not double dipping or benefiting and leveraging both situations.
The City Hall and how it works with public relations.
So the public relations aspect of this position, I'm a logistics manager in the Office of Economic Development, specifically for sports and entertainment. As far as public relations is concerned, it's more you have to interface with the news media and tell the news about the event. For as far as promotions is concerned, we do a lot of both online and offline promotions. We work with different community organizations and groups to pull them together to get support for different initiatives that we do. And that's important because all the events that we have, most of them are free to the public, but they have to resonate with most people from the community so that everyone feels welcome, no matter race, creed, color, no matter age, or whatever your status is and that sort of thing. So we have multicultural events, we have sporting events. The big difference in working with the government versus private, first and foremost, is that you're really a public servant. So my job is to serve the public. Everybody who works for the government, their job is, their customer is the taxpayer, regardless if it's local, state, or federal employment. I think that there's always drawbacks because you can't please everybody, but you're using everyone's money from a tax standpoint. Yeah, you're just having to please a larger base of stakeholders, right? It's not just I have one customer. I have, in this case, 1 million customers, because everyone who lives in Jacksonville and paying taxes are the customers. And so it's very hard, to balance what maybe the smart approach versus what people will accept, especially when it comes to resource allocation, budgets, and things like that. Yeah, because there's no red tape typically, depending on how large your corporation is. But in my case, when I work with my private clients, I make the decisions. I can buy whoever I want to buy from in terms of my products and services that I need to resell. With government, you have red tape. Everything has to be scrutinized. Appointments are very tricky. It's one of those things where you're sought after specifically for a specific role for a specific amount of time. And it's a little bit different because in government there's usually appointed roles, and where you're hired for a short period of time to do something typically sometimes very unique, or that you bring a unique skill set. And a civil service role, you are basically, the government is your career. And so most times it's who you know when you get an appointment, based on your track record, experience, and what you bring to the table that's unique. Most government entities, agencies, they want to operate more efficiently. Typically, private sector operates more efficiently than government sector. And so depending on your performance in private, you may get an appointment. But as far as the career track itself, regardless if you start out in the government space or you start out in the private space, the experience, if you decide to switch, can be helpful. The first company I was with was a one-person shop, and we grew to a multi-million-dollar company. I was vice president for 10 years doing that. And when you do a startup situation, you have to learn how to do everything. Most of your time is spent selling. And I think that skill set in learning how to sell encompasses public relations, marketing, promotions. And when you realize when you're working for a PR firm, a marketing firm, you have to sell any kind of product or service. If you get the concept of how to market and sell, if you're an entrepreneur with 1 million ideas, you can market and sell. That's my background. So my product and service, my specialty, is just to make sure that whatever client comes to me, and the government is my client, whatever they need, I provide the best customer service I can, and I'll just supply it at the best rate I can.